Hey guys, what's going on? Today I got a short little video. Friend of mine asked me if I was doing anything today. I told him, yeah, I have a ton of estimates to do in the morning, and then I have the rest of the day off. Decided to come over here. I told him I would run his loader stacking up some concrete, so we'll see how it goes. But this is my friend's place, and they're crushing the concrete here. Alright guys, so we're in the Doosan loader. Doosan. I'll show you real quick. I've already been running for a little bit. But this is basically a jaw crusher. You really want to run big heavy concrete with rebar and stuff through a jaw crusher. A lot of times then they'll run it through the impact crusher. So this has an electromagnetic belt, and what it does is it picks stuff up off of that belt, the metal, and throws it off here. So that's all rebar and wire. Then from there it goes into what we call a scalper screener. So that deck, I've changed out the screens, not in this one, but previous employers had the same machine as this. Basically, the fines come off the belt on the other side and they're going up that stacker. Once we get around there, I'll show you, but I gotta make access. There was another guy here working before me doing this. I am just taking over. But there's multiple screens in that shaker deck, usually 3, so you get 3 different sizes. You'll get like this 2-inch, then you'll get like a 3-inch, and then on the other side there's a belt that comes out here and goes up there to that tall stacker where you get the fines. The fines is what you want. He does want a lot of this 2-inch for apron stone for construction sites, but as of right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just keep running it back through. An impact crusher will get this down really fine, but usually a jaw, you can only close the jaw up so much. Your job as a loader operator is to basically clean the spoils of the pile, and you can see better now here, I think, down there. See how that belt's coming off and going up that big stacker conveyor belt down there? But what you do is basically clear the belts and any of the stuff they want to recrush, you bring it over, dump it in, and then you just keep pushing the pile to the excavator's loading point, so they don't have to keep moving the crushing setup, because it takes a lot to move the crusher setup. So what you do is you just keep pushing stuff to him, but you got to be careful, because like I'm not going to get out and move that. He'll pick the trash out and stuff with the excavator bucket, but in order to keep up with the operation, you really got to just keep going, keep moving. Because if you fall behind, you know what I mean, those piles will eat the belt, you know. They'll get tall enough that they will come up and swallow the end of the belt, which I've had happen. So usually don't stop, you know. Even if you see the excavator, if he stops to go use the bathroom or, you know, have something to eat, you can usually gain some distance on him by not stopping when he stops. But what I had to do is, this is his topsoil pile, and the guy that was here before me, he didn't make, well, it's not his fault really, it's really no one's fault, it's just by the time they set up, there wasn't enough room to get around here. So what I've done is I've hogged out a hole next to the pile, the topsoil pile, so I can get around here, because I gotta either knock that down or scoop out before it gets up to there. This belt typically goes slower. This belt here, the 2-inch belt, these will normally pile up on you pretty fast. The good thing is you don't have to move the fines belt because they have a stacker, but I've worked with one of these machines. You can see it over there going up over the top and in a stacker. I've worked with one of these before a long time ago that didn't have a stacker, and so you have to work 3 belts. So what I like to do is I like to take out of the pile on this side of the belt. Reason is because now after I back up, when it drops off the belt, it spills this way and not over towards there. So it's almost like you're creating a little containment. Yeah, if you can see it right there. Way there. It's like containment, and it's going that way. If you constantly take off that side of the belt, it'll drop off that side of the belt. So what happens when you put this stuff that's like 2-inch back through as you're crushing the big stuff, it naturally gets jammed in between the big stuff, and it'll become smaller just from being crushed against the big stuff. Some of the crushers have a belt that puts it back through for you. This one doesn't seem to have one, so it has to be loaded with the loader, put back through there. I'm trying to get some of this loam out of here, topsoil, whatever you want to call it, so I can get by. He's really like running out of room in this yard, but probably come in here. Back up over here. Gotta be careful. I can see in the camera. This loader has a camera in it, so see that I'm not hitting anything. What's nice about this end of the machine is you don't really get a lot off of it compared to that. These scalper screeners are awesome, like if you were doing stone, like if this was all ledge, because you can pretty much make your own size stone and stuff. But this is all from demolition. He tears down a lot of houses, but he also takes in the company I worked for when I was a teenager. He used to own the yard next door, and for whatever reason they sold it, and now they just dump in his yard. So I don't know what that's all about. Maybe they know something I don't know. But I was shocked when they sold that yard. It's actually right over there, straight across. Straight way over there in the field past that pine tree. There's I'll show you. Right where that excavator is. They used to own that whole yard. And I don't know if they owned it or if they rented it. I don't know what the deal is. All I know is they're putting in a solar field over there now. Seems like the only people that can get permits to do anything nowadays with land is solar fields are going in everywhere. I will say this, I've done both. I've loaded the crusher and I've ran the loader, and I would rather run the loader. Loading the crusher is boring. You're literally sitting in the excavator spinning just back and forth, back and forth. The time seems to fly by pretty fast. thing too is you do not want to drive on the demo stuff because it's loaded with rebar and wire and everything. So you go in, you get a bucket, move the bucket back out. You go to push up the pile, you got to do it gradually. So like I'll go in like this, grab a bucket of material, don't go like too far with the tires, and then drop it over here. But when I drop it over here, if it was fill, I'd go in and ride up the pile. This I don't do that because you know you'll end up driving over stuff. And if you want to push it up, you gotta go push it up a little bit, and then back up. There's a lot of stuff in here. A lot of rebar, a lot of things that can stab the tires. I already said that once, but I'll say it again and again and again because it's really important, because tires are like thousands of dollars a piece. Oh, phone's ringing. Got some big pieces in here. They probably won't do anything with these. Probably put them to the side. Because he doesn't have a hammer. So, not really sure what to do with it right now. Gonna put it here for now. That way I can push all the small stuff over there. Then I'll probably put that piece back. When I used to work next door, I had a big excavator with a thumb. What I would do is I would take that big piece like that and I would drop it on all the other stuff as it would come in. If I was working in the pit and they brought stuff in, I'd break it up as I would go, as I would stack it up. But there's no yard guy here full time, so it's kind of hard to do that when you don't have a full-time yard guy. I know he wants to keep about 200 yards of those 2-inch, but I think he's gonna have to like wait towards the end of crushing because you're not gonna have enough of a area to stack that pile until we make some room here. So I probably won't get to that today. Somebody else will probably have to do that like tomorrow maybe. Although I don't know, judging the way that this is crushing, it's probably gonna be a few days. Alright, so his guy's gonna take over because I got some estimates I gotta go do. that's gonna do it for this one. Hope you enjoyed this little video on concrete crushing. I'm gonna get out of here. I got some estimates to do. I'll catch you on the next one.